Oh.
Well, I just,
Yeah. He does not.
I think the one there for an hour. 2 or 3.
let me just jump right on that.
This was.
Yeah, there's just a couple girls that were up and played bouncy chair, bouncy house, and had cake and things, so. Yeah.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Okay, just join me in the pledge, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
welcome everyone. If you've not signed in and wish to do so, now would be the appropriate time. You don't have to do that. We just need this, helps us with our acknowledgements in the minutes. Okay. I see we're all present, except Mr. Hale. He is on the disabled list temporarily. So at this point, we have any agenda modifications for this meeting? Seeing none, we'll proceed on. At this point, accept the motion to approve the April 20th council meeting.
I make a motion.
To approve them? Yep.
Second.
We'll take read.
I'll take it.
Not reading, okay. It's been moved and second to accept the council meeting minutes. So any discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Great, motion passes. Okay, public comments and hearings. At this point, we'll accept public comments. You get 3 minutes, uninterrupted. It's not a debate, it's not a dialogue, but please keep it civil and appropriate. Okay, anybody have anything? Miss, we'll let Miss Pearson go.
Miss Pearson.
Miss, is that the appropriate one?
I just want to say I am so thankful to Margie and Shelley for bringing Richie out to my house and setting up for the kids to come and clean my yard that I can't do on my own right now. So thank you so very much. It's just over the top. I'm just humbled. Thank you so much.
Okay. I see. Anybody else? Welcome.
Well, thank you. Just want to give people update. No, the harassment order is not on the agenda based off what I can see. Just want to give people a quick update. Harassment is starting up again, unfortunately. The lights are returning, and there are unfortunately additional caltrops that have been found. Law enforcement's been notified. Last time they were found, I brought you guys remnants that have been found in tires. Mm-hmm. This time, thankfully, they were not found in tires, but they were found directly under my vehicle. So, so this is that's what's been pulled out of 8 tires strewn out behind Water Street and above. This is what they look like beforehand.
Wow, that's nasty.
They are aluminum based, so you cannot find them with a magnet. You can purchase them online for $20 for a pack of 12. With free shipping, unfortunately. They are not illegal to own. They are only illegal in Yakima County due to constant and reoccurring gang activity there. I know that Kendra's been working on getting that ordinance worked on due to our lawyer being incapacitated. I would strongly encourage the council to unanimously pass this harassment ordinance and ensure that it is being followed carefully and followed up with swiftly and consistently so that myself and others in the community are not being harassed continually, especially as we move into the summer months where additional forms of harassment such as burning after dark and other forms of harassment will be occurring. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else have any
Retrieve
comments at this time? Lori?
my fundamental objects.
Not that it's a problem, Lori, but you got 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. You know me.
And I'll warn you, if you push a little bit,
Okay.
you'll understand a little bit, okay?
Yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Lori Overton. I'm here tonight to tell you about Fentanyl Awareness Night that I am doing at open house at Tekoa High School on May 14th at 6:30. The city made May Fentanyl Awareness Month a couple years ago. If you don't know me, my daughter Nikki passed away. It's 5 years ago this May from fentanyl poisoning. She was 22 years old. And this will be the first time that I am going to speak about this issue. Also have former DEA Marcus Pickett coming out. He does outreach now out of Seattle. He told me he helps, he calls us angel moms like me. So he's going to come out. Roy and Mike saw him at a conference and said he was excellent. So he's going to do a part. Jennifer's going to do a part on resources that the kids and people have. You know, it's not just, you know, so that I'm not just being a downer and talking about the sad part of it. We're going to talk about what's available to people also, because it is a sad topic. We're suggesting that it be, you know, high school age and above, because it is potentially triggering, potentially, you know, it's serious stuff. So just know that when you send your kiddos, it's at your discretion. So it's May 14th at 6:30 at Tekoa High School. And I have some flyers. Would you like me to leave them with you?
Sure.
Okay. I will hand them to Shelley and I can get more. And that is all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lori. Okay, anybody else have anything at this point? Okay, great, we'll proceed on. Community group updates. Oh,
I know.
you look somewhat like Jennifer. We'd seen her before.
I heard you were missing
Yeah.
my little dog and pony show, so I even brought papers. So hi, everybody, Jennifer with Healthy Tico. We have been doing so much stuff with Healthy Tico lately. Youth going to DC, getting some leadership and history and all of that, and they should be coming to see you guys, I'm hoping, in the next meeting. And so I am getting us ready for our audit. So our audit is next week. But if you'd like to meet the woman who's coming to do that, she'd love to meet anybody at our meeting. It's of course in the morning, so I know you early birds aren't gonna, or your late birds aren't gonna like it, but it's Tuesday, 9 a.m. at Trestle. We're gonna celebrate our seniors because this will be the last meeting our senior youth will be participating. So that's part one I'm inviting you to. Part two I'm inviting you to is the end of year celebration. Our youth wanted to do an event and we're going to do it an evening school event, and it's going to be a dessert reception. So the youth have decided they're going to cook, and I'll bring a few extras just in case somebody forgets. But please come out. They want to tell you guys what they've been up to, and then I'll share. We've got a few new stats that were released from the latest rendition of the Healthy Youth Survey. So that's always good. And speaking of surveys, so my third thing is the community survey. So everybody's going to nod when I ask, have you taken your community survey in the last 2 months? I see one. Come on. Okay, guys, this is for everybody.
It's really simple.
It's
I figured it out, you guys, you can get this.
Well, they made it really nice. Like previous years, it would be multiple pages, and you're like, oh my God, I'm never getting done. But you could scroll down the entire thing and see all your questions at once before you answer one of them. Unless you're a parent, because as soon as you say yes, you're a parent of middle school or high school, it opens up more. But for those of you that don't have those, anyway, the thing is shorter. So I'm going to leave these over here. They're QR codes, websites for you guys to look at. And the reason I ask and beg every other year or so for this is because if you don't do them, I get in trouble in my audit, they cut my funding, those kinds of fun things. I also brought a few paper for those of you who don't want to do it online. I did happen to print out some old ones. And you can drop them off at the library. And I think that's everything for the month of May. So I hope to see you guys at the celebration. And I hope to see the survey numbers hitting our target of 100. Any questions for all that's going on with Healthy Tekoa? Thank you.
Thank you.
Pardon?
When is the celebration?
The celebration is the Tuesday, the 26th. I didn't say it out loud. Tuesday, the 26th, 6:30 p.m. at the high school dessert reception.
Okay. Thank you. Any other community groups need to update us? Thank you. Casey, you're up. Your leadoff hitter tonight.
Hello, everybody. I'm Casey Louder with Pine Creek Conservation District. Thank you, Mayor Schultz, for giving me the opportunity to come and speak with the council tonight. Has anybody ever heard of a conservation district? Oh, okay, good. So you're in Pine Creek Conservation District now. Our office is based out of Oakdale, but we essentially serve northeast Whitman County. North of Steptoe Butte up to the county line, and east of 195 over to the Idaho state line, with a little bit of territory creeping over onto the west side over to the Malden area. So conservation districts, as some of you may know, were formed back in the 40s as a response to the Dust Bowl. So their initial charge is really around soil conservation. And from the very beginning, we've been tightly connected with farming and productive use of the ground. Over the years, conservation districts have evolved, and we're really situated as the local connection for farmers to connect with technical assistance and financial assistance around making their operations more efficient, conserving soil, water resources, improving soil health, improving habitat. So Mr. Schultz passed around some information to each of you tonight. I won't go through all of this, but I just wanted to highlight some of the things that we have the potential to work together with some of the towns in the district on. Recently, there's been a little shift in focus, well, not shift, but addition to our focus from purely land managers and working land to working more with residents and towns. And one of those areas that our board has been interested in us participating in is around community wildfire resiliency. So our main funding source comes from the Conservation Commission here in Washington State. And 2 years ago, they opened up a new grant program around community wildfire resiliency and forest health. As part of that program, the district purchased a chipper. Primarily, we intended to use exclusively for the town of Malden. To use to chip up some of the woody waste left over from the fire that is still presenting some wildfire hazard. At this stage, we would like to offer that to all the towns in our district. It does come along with some paperwork just because of the nature of the machine and the danger involved with that. But if that's something that Tekoa would like to hear more about in the future, I can send more information on that and we can work toward that interlocal agreement. The way we've worked it out with Malden is they have free use of the machine, they store the machine. The staff that are trained to use it safely can go out and use that on town property or individual residences. Just because of the liability factor, we can't lend it out to individuals. But another way that we've utilized the chipper is offering a so-called chipper day service from the district, where we ask community members that may have fire hazards on their property to allow us to come out, have a look, make sure we can come out and access with the chipper. If so, we can talk with them a little bit about wildfire resiliency, bring the chipper out and chip up their woody waste for them for free. So if that's something that you think your community members would be interested in, we would love to have your help with getting the word out on that and connecting us with those folks. We can do some other stuff around community wildfire resiliency, but those are the main things. We can offer some education and outreach. We are working directly with the fire districts in our conservation district as well to support them on that. Before I move on, any questions about the community wildfire resiliency stuff? Okay.
How big is your chipper? How big of a?
It's a 12-inch chipper, so it's a medium-sized one. It can't handle gigantic stuff, and even right at 12 inches is probably a little too much. But it will take it if you take your time. But you know, limbs and sticks, it just chews right through those.
It's got its own power source.
Yes, yeah, it has its own motor. It's a Vermeer machine, so it's a good chipper. It can't handle gigantic stuff, but
You guys have had this for a couple of years now?
yes, it's a used machine that we bought, but we purchased it back in 2023, right near New Year. The very end of 2023 is when we purchased it.
Besides Malden, has it gone out to any other?
We recently offered the opportunity to the town of Roselia, and we have the interlocal agreement in the works with them. So I was at their town council meeting last week, and they approved that and signed off on that. I'll take that to my board. I failed to mention in the beginning, we're a special purpose district, so we're governed by a board of elected members. All of them live within the district. One of them lives here in Tekoa. Rob Marsh is on our board. So I will take that agreement to the board at our next meeting, and once we sign off on that, we can train Roselia staff, and then they'll have use of it as well. The only cost that's associated with that is the way it has an hour meter on it for use, and when it's time for maintenance, we split the cost between Pine Creek Conservation District, the town users, and then we also have an interlocal agreement with one of our neighboring conservation districts here in Whitman County. And based on the hours used, that entity pays that percentage of the maintenance cost. So there is some cost associated with it, but that's it.
Plus the gas.
Plus the fuel, yes, sir, and that is a big cost now. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out.
Is there a certain amount on
And
it?
it's diesel, so it's even more of a cost.
You projected that, you know, if one tree is down, is that enough, or you have to have a bunch of stuff to do?
For the Chipper Day program that we offer, I would say if there's an amount that would take, you know, if it's more than a tiny pile, that would be more
No,
efficient just to
it's
load
pretty
it.
good. It's the top of a tree, where Kearns is wood,
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't have a specific cutoff, but if it's more than a truck bed load, I
You'd
would
like
say.
more than a couple hours worth to bring it up for, right?
Yeah, a couple hours worth would be, if we're just bringing it from Oaksville, I think even if it was a couple hours worth, if it was a decent sized tree, we could do that for sure.
Okay.
Now, did the chips go into a back of a truck, or do they just go out on the ground? We have to move them.
Good question. We don't have a truck to haul them. We do have access to a dump trailer that one of our neighboring conservation districts allows us to borrow. So if there's a sizable enough amount and there's not a good use for them on the property where the limbs are, we could haul them off. We prefer to leave them where the limbs are. You know, the chips that come out aren't the most attractive to some people's eyes, but they're still useful on the landscape for mulching. So that's our preference, but we could haul them off in a situation that needed that.
So who qualifies for the use of this? Could it be a private homeowner?
For the Chipper Day events that we would offer, that could be a private homeowner, yes, sir. If the town wants to enter in with the interlocal agreement, once they get trained up, they can use it how they see fit. It could be on town property, or if they want to do that for residents with town staff, that's acceptable too. All right. So we do have some history of doing some work here in the town of Tekoa. One of my colleagues, her focus is around education and outreach, and over the past couple years, she's done some programming with the library here, some workshops for kids around water quality, where they go down in the creek and play around with nets and see what kind of organisms are living in there. They talk about watersheds and water quality. We've also done a Fish in the Classroom program, where we secure funding for the equipment to bring into classrooms and allow the students to grow out rainbow trout from eggs that we get from Fish and Wildlife. And then we do a release day event where we take those young fish and release those into Rock Lake. So we hope to continue those. We've also offered some education around the ag economy generally, just to help reiterate that close connection with agriculture in our area through a curriculum called Wheat Week. And we have heard really good feedback from that. That's a 5th grade curriculum,
They love it.
and hope to continue that.
It's been very popular at the school.
Oh, great.
Yeah, they love
Yes, glad to hear that. So the main thing I wanted to come and talk with you about today is an upcoming opportunity that I'm sure you've heard about. We worked with a previous town staff member on a grant application to the Department of Ecology last year. And that grant application is on the tentative funding list. So it has made the cut. It was evaluated by ecology staff and others in the state, and they have deemed it a worthwhile project to fund. So my understanding of the status now, it's with you guys to decide, is that something you want to go forward with and receive that funding and work toward those goals in that grant. The overall grant is primarily a planning grant, to my understanding. So the kind of high level idea is to improve the Hangman Creek watershed, starting with town-owned parcels. And that could come in a variety of flavors. But the ultimate goal is to improve the habitat on those sites, allow for public access at some point in the future with trails or other features, interpretive signage, and ultimately improve water quality. Department of Ecology is charged by the Environmental Protection Agency to steward water quality in the state of Washington. So their funds are really aimed toward that narrow goal, but there's a lot of side benefits that can come along with that type of work. The portions of that grant that we worked with Tekoa town staff on are a pretty small portion of the overall ask for the grant, but we talked about proposing a implementation project instead of just planning, like what you might do in the future, to do an actual planting project on a few of the town parcels on about 1.6 acres of property on the Tekoa Farmington Road in the bend there as you leave town going toward Farmington. So Conservation District would be happy to cooperate with you guys on that piece. We do have some experience over the last 5 years implementing projects like that. And in your packet, there's a couple photos of the type of strategy that we use for that type of project. So we're proposing a low-tech, relatively low-cost project. No earth moving, no heavy equipment, nothing like that. It would be starting with some weed control, and establishing some desirable grasses first on that parcel, and then coming in and planting native trees and shrubs on that area in 2 different zones. So there's the flat that's up off the creek, and then the channel itself. And the way we typically approach those types of land uses is willow cuttings down in the channel of the creek, and then potted trees and shrubs. We love Plants of the Wild, just out of town here. We've relied on them heavily in the past for our planting projects. So we get those native trees and shrubs for them, plant them out on weed fabric, and then really spend a lot of time with maintenance on those. It's one thing to purchase the plants and get them into the ground, but with our environment here, our hot, dry summers, watering those plants is critical, and then weed control in the growth season as well. So that's one piece of that proposal that we'd be perfectly capable of taking that piece on, from planning through implementation and maintenance for that 3 to 4 year grant cycle. The other piece of that grant application was around education and outreach. So with this overall planning effort that would be going far into the future, one thing we've learned is engaging the community before any groundwork starts, hearing their concerns, answering their questions, and communicating what we intend to do and why we're doing that is critically important to the long-term success and the community buy-in to those types of projects. So our education and outreach staff would be available to do that kind of work with individual meetings with landowners, hosting workshops to talk about the project, and things like that. So I think the next big milestone on the timeline is around July. And that's when Ecology would like to hear back from that draft list of people that they say, yes, your project looks good, we're willing to fund it. They want to hear back, yep, let's go forward. And at that point, there is room for negotiation on the exact deliverables that you want to see. So there is still some time to make some adjustments, as long as the overall picture kind of is going toward what was applied for.
Can I ask you a couple questions about that?
Yes.
So on that corner there, the Farmington highways where you turn right where the road turns and
Yep.
starts heading outward,
Yes,
so planting. So 2 questions is, so what is the overall benefit of putting plants and stuff in there?
There's several. So in my opinion, the biggest benefit is a wildlife habitat benefit in the long term. Rather than just grass and weeds in the current state, there's lots of tansy, some tumble mustard, reed canary grass, but no real woody vegetation. So primarily grasses and weeds. That woody vegetation will give you some habitat structure over time. It will also have some permanent root structures in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So it will help with erosion, infiltration when there is flooding. It's likely will be at some point. Get that stabilization effect from those larger, woodier plants. And then Ecology's interest in it is around the water quality piece. So it kind of acts as a sponge for potential contaminants coming from the road. In this case, there's no farming adjacent to it. But it's going to absorb excess nutrients and filter out some potential contaminants there, as well as the erosion piece too. They consider sediment a pollutant, so it would reduce that incrementally over time.
Well, now you created a third question.
Okay.
So then wildlife that bring in. So there's some fox occasionally in there. There's raccoon in there, which kind of a problem for our community. So if that would draw in more raccoons, I don't know if that would really be beneficial to the town. I see there are deer usually more on the other side of the creek from what I think you're talking about. So as a wildlife habitat, we don't seem to lack in that around the edges of town. So, would the water quality benefits be higher on the list than what it would do for the wildlife? Because that would probably be our more of a concern than building a greater, at least off the top of my head, and knowing some of the issues that we deal with wildlife in the area.
Yes,
We
yeah,
love it, but we don't want to keep moving them right into next door to the residences.
yes, ma'am. That's a great point, actually, and not something that immediately comes to my mind. I'm a bird watcher. That's my main hobby. So when I'm thinking wildlife habitat, I'm thinking of smaller stuff,
Yeah.
Birds and insects, maybe some small mammals. But that is a good point. And to your question directly about foxes and raccoons, I don't know. It probably would end up being something that they would like. So that is a point to take into consideration.
Well, and then my last question with that is that you mentioned the grant and everything would cover the study of it and the implementation, and then you mentioned something about water and weed control, and then would that be ongoing? So that would be a cost that for the city then eventually to maintain that area, to keep the weeds under control and keep that watered? Would that be the case then?
So yes, and the budget and the timeline, and I included a draft timeline on there just to give you guys a sense of the scale, at least in time. You can ask for a 1-year extension to the 3-year grant, and that often happens. And the budget that we submitted would be to plant and maintain that parcel through 4 years. And then after that, generally after a few years, if it's done well and we're lucky with seasonal conditions, the maintenance requirements go down over time, especially the watering. And if we get some nice desirable grasses, and once the shrubs start growing up, although in 4 years they're still going to be reasonably small. I included a picture of a 4-year-old project there, and some of the shrubs are maybe 6 feet tall at that time. But over time, the desirable plants should be competing with the weeds. But in an ideal world, there would probably be some ongoing maintenance.
Our biggest problem in that whole area down there is we got a family of beavers. And they'll take it, what you take. And because the elementary school, they planted a bunch of trees along there a few years ago. And they just about got them knocked out. They had to put wire around. We had to go back and put wire around what trees are left. So the beavers do cause a lot of problems.
Yes, sir. That is one of the challenges that we faced on a lot of our project sites as well.
So would you have fishing game removed?
That is an option. We haven't done that. In the top picture in the packet there, you'll see the white tubes. When the plants are small in those first 6 months to a year and a half, we protect them. With those, it does keep the beavers off of them, but we've still had a lot of issues with smaller rodents, voles, that can just get under there and take the root mass from underground, or I've even seen them act like a mini beaver and girdle the stems of the plants above ground. So.
Well, they've gotten fat over the last 3 years. The beavers have.
If we have foxes there, they'll fit out. Anyway.
But trapping and removal is definitely an option if it's an issue, for sure.
Now, you're showing these pictures on 274 going out just before Idaho. On the right-hand side, there's an area out there that was done up, and I don't know, did you do that? Is that
No,
part
sir.
of this?
So
Okay.
we did assist with that project. That project was a Spokane Conservation District project.
Okay. Well, and my question was, I saw some posts on our Facebook page, and they were wondering why in the world did they do that down there along that bottom edge? When it flooded, it just washed everything away. And I just wonder if that's did that get taken out, or is it still growing? We're gonna have the same issue here with water.
So that project is still in place. So this one would be quite different than the implementation specifics on that one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of earth moving in that project.
Right.
And the idea, as from my understanding of it, was really to create more volume in the floodplain. So rather than an incised channel, a narrow, steep canyon, almost mini canyon, make it a large, shallow bowl. So in the flooding event that happened last winter in February, it actually behaved as it was designed to do.
Okay.
So it did flood that floodplain, but that was the intention of the design from the engineer. and it did not come out into the field. Speaking with the landowners in the past, during flood events, when we had the narrow channelized stream, it was coming out in their fields, and if they had it seeded to winter wheat, tearing out
Right.
all the crop, they had to reseed it and deal with weeds. So depending on who you talk to, it functioned in the way that it should have. There were plantings on that floodplain as well. And our role in the project had already been designed and signed off on when we were approached, and we were asked to assist with acquiring some of the plant materials. Because the plans were put together in 2018. The implementation started in like 2022. So prices had inflated. They needed some additional funding, so they came to our district, which when they had initially started, Pine Creek District was in sort of a state of dormancy and not offering that type of assistance. They came to us, can you get some funding for plants? We did that. And then we assisted with implementing their planting plan.
Right.
We had no say in any other part of the project.
Thank you.
So so my understanding is that they think we're gonna just get the grant, July 1st, basically, right?
I think there would be some more back and forth between the town and ecology to come to that final agreement, finalized budget, exact deliverables, what's gonna be done, what is gonna be reported to them. And then, after that would be, what you're aiming for, and money could start, moving
So
toward
then
that.
at what point would we hire, like if we hired you guys to do the planting and the implementation of the project, at what point would we do that? Do you know that?
I honestly don't know exactly how that piece is gonna work. We've never worked directly with a town. My understanding is we would need an interlocal agreement in place. We would have that budget to aim for, and the way the reporting would go from there is they do a quarterly reporting schedule. We would do what we can in that quarter, and then we would invoice the town of Tekoa for those hours, plant materials, supplies, whatever it might be. And then the town of Tekoa would report that to ecology. They would reimburse you, and you would reimburse us. That's the way I understand it. So it wouldn't be like a direct hiring of us, from my understanding. It would just be that interlocal agreement, and then we would say, we're not going to exceed this piece of the budget. But again, I think our piece of the budget proposal, at least, is maybe 10% of the entire grant
Right.
budget proposal, or maybe less. It's a small portion of it.
But you guys, we don't do statements of qualifications or anything like you do with engineers.
I don't think so, but again, I'm not sure. But these are great questions.
Okay.
And
Well, I can talk to ecology about that.
I think, that would be a good starting place.
Okay.
Because I'm sure they worked with partners where it was a municipality with a conservation district before. And I can help try to figure those
Well, I could
questions
just
out as
talk to
well.
Mitch, I would think, or Marnie,
Yeah.
right?
That would be a good starting place.
Question,
Yes, sir.
going back to the issue of beavers, I had the opportunity to see the effect of beavers down on the town of Longview. They have a lake down there, Lake Sacagawea. They had beavers down there, and they had large trees, and they were going up as much as 30, 40 yards from the lake and taking everything out. They had to replant. Also, they had to put heavy fencing around where was left. It was even to the point where they torn through the fencing and were still chewing on large trees, anything close to the water. It became a real problem and really impact. So I hope the ecology understands as much as beavers are great, having them in a community area, as Shelley was saying, is, among other things, has some downside.
Yes, sir.
Would there be any action this year yet?
Depending on the timeline of getting to that final agreement, I think the first step for the pieces that we would be qualified to assist with would be doing some site preparation on the planting area. Whether that's burning or spraying or whatever it might be to get the existing plant community under control. And then a dormant fall seeding, if there's a need for going back in and overseeding that area with desirable grasses, that would be great to do this fall if the timelines work out that way. Planting this fall, definitely, we're too late to do that. You know, we need to reserve plants a year in advance, usually 6 months to a year. With Plants of the Wild in a small parcel like this, we could probably get them a little bit more rapidly, but definitely not by this fall. And some site prep before you put the plants in, so you have the ability to spray without risk of drifting onto those is always a nice benefit.
And the whole area you're talking about, oh, I see right there, the whole buffer, just that blue area.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So what's needed from us?
At this stage,
Or is it going
nothing,
ahead,
nothing's
whether
needed
it's
from
just-
my end. It was more just an opportunity to introduce myself to you guys and remind you that we're around and would love to cooperate with you on this process. I think that next step will be directly with ecology in that July timeframe, where they would want to have a yes or no, are we gonna go forward with at least the gist of the initial application.
So it's the Department of Ecology that we make the final
Yes.
decision.
So if we did want to do an agreement to use the chipper, what would be the first step in that?
I could send you the existing agreement that we have with Malden. You guys could have a look at that and see if that sounds good. If it looks good, we can change the language to fit Tekoa. And then if the council would like to consider approving that, then my board could approve it, and then we could train and you'd be off to the races.
Great.
Would there be any need for wood chips in your rehab of the creek?
Actually, yes. With a smallish site like that, in one of the photos there, you may be able to see, I like to use the weed control mats. It helps a lot with the maintenance and the mowing. I like to cover that with wood chips when possible. It makes the matting last longer and it looks a heck of a lot better too. So yes, that's a good idea, actually. Yep.
Many of the beavers will eat the wood chips.
Bait them in with
So get the
some
message.
Okay, anything else, guys? Thanks,
Good.
Casey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So at this point, we're gonna move Haley up. We're gonna let her jump leapfrog everybody else, so
Thank you.
before her chaperone melts down on us, so.
It's doing pretty good. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm Haley Barney, branch manager, Banner Bank. Most of you know me. I'm here to talk to you about bringing back $500,000 from the LGIP pool that you have at the state. I actually have it pre-approved that we can put that amount into a savings along with an extra $150,000 at a rate of 3.75. So that's way higher than what we actually have for a lot of things.
But that's what we're making at the state investment pool now.
You're actually making less because if you look at the daily ratio, it's way less. I think last time I looked, it was like 3.3, 3.4. Yeah.
Last time I looked at it was somewhere, so you looked after.
Yeah, I did. It's dropped quite a bit, and that the state pool is on a daily ratio instead of just like a flat rate. So that thing is just constantly up and down.
So could you explain to them what you explained to me, that it would be a savings account?
Yep, it'd be a savings account to make Kenda's life a little easier for moving funds back and forth as needed for you guys. Money's right here, so she can, use it as needed a lot quicker than having to wait to wire it back from place to place. It's a savings account with it's not a term because it's just an account. So it's got just a set rate of 3.75. If you guys go under a certain dollar amount, which I don't have off the top of me because the tiers all vary, it will drop to a different rate. That's just going to vary upon what rates are at that time.
So we have over 600,000 in our state investment pool. We have, hang on, give me a sec. Grab that in here. Sorry, I should have pulled it out. I looked at it earlier. Here we go. So, we have, 557,000 in our checking account at the bank there. We have 631,000 at the state investment pool. So, you guys had made a motion to put 150,000 from the sewer into the state investment pool, as part of our savings. And I have not done that because I had to get everything set up to switch over to me, and so I didn't do it. But then Haley started talking to me about doing this. And so what we'd do is, we would take 500,000 out of the state investment pool, so we'd still have 131,000 in the state investment pool, and then we'd take 150,000 out of our checking account, which is out of the sewer, that we have over 300,000 in the sewer fund. So then we'd put 650,000 into the savings. And it would stay at 3.75 until we either took it out or whatever we, so, but we, like I said.
But the money is there for your guys' future projects, because it means, who knows if in 2 months from now you guys are gonna start moving on this, and then right away it's like, oh crap, you have to pay all these bills. Kendall has access to it right away instead of trying to figure out how quickly she can get the funds back from the state into the account.
So this is different than the bonds that we
Yeah, the bonds are totally separate. So the
Okay.
bonds, we have 278,000 in the safekeeping investment with the bonds.
But you guys can also bring that back to me, and I can also do another rate request, and put that into a CD.
And I think that doesn't come due until November is what Eliza told me. I'm not super familiar with that, but I think that she said that we get our interest in November for that. So
When you say the state investment pool, I guess I haven't heard that terminology before.
LJP,
LJP, and so, when you talk about the 150 into the sewer, is that when we talk about putting the 150 into the proprietary fund of the sewer? Is that what you're
yeah,
talking
so it
about?
would be in the sewer, basically savings.
The sewer state,
Right.
okay,
So
so
it
it's
would just
separate
go-
though than
Yeah.
this, okay.
Yeah.
And so that has not been done yet,
No,
but it will be. Oh, no, I don't mean it to be
No,
like that, I'm just trying to track with
Yeah.
this.
Mhm.
I think this all sounds very good. I'm gonna have to see it on paper before I could really fully. And
So-
or do we have to make a decision like right now?
So there is an expiration date on this approval, and we've already gone, I think I have about a week and a half left on it.
So is
Before
there
I
any
have
way
to
they go till the
re-ask again.
20th when we have our next meeting, that they would let us do it then, so that they could decide that night?
That is stretching it too far. I'd have to re-ask.
So what it is, so we have 631,000 in the state investment pool. I would take 500,000 out of the state investment pool, put into the savings, and then out of our checking account, I take 150,000 out of the checking, which we have 557. Do you guys have copies? I gave you all copies of the treasury report.
Yes.
It's on the back of it. And then, take the 150,000 out of the checking account to put into this savings. Do you know off the top of what we make, we don't make any interest on our checking?
No, you have nothing. You have no
We have
interest on any of your stuff.
557,000 sitting in our checking account. With no,
Honestly, it's a great way for you guys to make money off of your own money anywhere you can.
I guess I'd just be interested in knowing what that point is where the rates change. Because I know a lot of our personal
If
savings
it's gonna
accounts,
change,
you have to have
yeah,
a
so it's
certain
gonna
amount.
be like a high yield savings, so if it's gonna change, it's if you're gonna go under the $499,999 ratio, and then it would go to the next tier, and then so on and so forth.
so if we check 150,000.
I just don't know I don't know those rates off the top of my head, but I also, it's kind of pointless to quote them to you, because, I mean, in this environment, rates are changing every day. So even if I quoted you, say 2.5%, if you go under that, by the time you actually go under that, it could probably be 3%, just because of the rate environment that we are in.
I think I'm tracking. My only concern is if we're doing this to build up and have the interest build up, that if we also have it so we have easy access to money that we need, and we need, let's say, 50,000 for a project, and then it bumps our rate down, are we further are we ahead or behind at that point? So that's why I'm sorry, I just have to see things on paper.
So the difference is, so right now we have with the state investment pool, so we're not investing locally. You know what I mean?
No, I'm totally,
No.
I get that.
No, but if we had to take more than 150,000 out, because she said if we had 500,000 in there, that it would not change the rate. If we had to take more than 150,000 out, and it went lower, we could always go back with the state investment pool.
And you can also always come back to me and ask for another approval.
And the only reason why, I mean, I just think it's nice to invest in our local bank, you know, and if they're gonna give us the same rate as the state investment pool, and we'd still keep the state investment pool, we'd keep the 133,000 in the state investment pool. So if we needed to, we could always put the money back into there too.
And this rate goes for, I mean, even personal people. So if you have lots of money and you want better rates and you want CDs, come see me.
So this is, so the rate, but if do we lock into this then at the 500?
You're not locked in on it.
So this could, so even though we've been approved for this, it could go lower at any time?
No, so it's gonna stay that rate for quite a while because nothing is really changing on our higher savings accounts. It's just on a tiered rate. But I just said it's hard to quote you what those rates are gonna be just because things are floating. They are floating higher. So like our CD rates just went up by 0.25% on Friday, just because that's where the market's headed. So who says that in a month time you're not gonna be at 4%, leaving that 650,000 in there?
Well, sure, sounds good.
I just think it'd be nice for us to invest with our local bank too. And we haven't done that. I mean, yes, we have all this money sitting in checking, not making any interest on it.
Which is quite an investment. That's a good thing for the bank.
Pardon?
That's a lot for the bank. They're getting some 100,000 plus at zero. Doesn't cost them anything to have the money. We're losing money. Now with this deal, give us the money that we have in the checking account, that 400,000. Would that get that 3.75 rate?
You can't do that on a checking account.
I was afraid of that.
So can we move it to a different checking account that makes money, or can we not?
Because it's public funds, it's set at a different scale. So like we have analyzed checking accounts and stuff like that you can have interest on, but just because you guys are on a public funds base, that's where it's different.
So we can't have.
Not on the checking account.
I didn't think so.
Okay, council, what's your pleasure?
So I'm understanding that we need to make a decision tonight, since it's only going to go up
Yeah,
another week from now.
it'd be preferred. That way we could just get it going. That way they can actually get your guys' 150 moved where it needs to go.
So I would say I'll make a motion that we go ahead and do the changing, switching the funds and everything and put it into Banner Bank.
Can I say what we're gonna do?
Yes, you say it.
Okay, so it would be taking, 500,000 out of the state investment pool, transferring it into the savings account and taking 150,000 out of our checking account at Banner Bank and moving it into the savings account.
Yeah, that's what I
So it'd be
said.
650,000.
Exactly what we said.
Well, I just
Good job,
wanted to
Reed.
understand.
I second it. Okay, it's been moved and seconded, discussion.
So-
Is it gonna be easier for you to work with Banner Bank?
Because it's local.
Right here.
Otherwise,
No, I mean, because it's local, is it just easier?
I don't think it allows any strings to what she's doing. I
yeah.
think it takes some away with that.
But it'll be easier just because it's local, but it would be nice to support our local bank too.
I agree. Yeah.
Is the risk any different from where the money is now?
What'd you ask?
There's a risk as far as,
I think the risk is the
Yeah.
same.
It's still all federal.
Yep.
funded.
It's all protected.
FDIC.
And did you say it leaves some in the state?
133,000, yeah, we just take 500, so that we could still leave our state investment pool open. So if we did need to, if for some reason the rates dropped, or we had to take money out and then we couldn't still get the 3.75, we could move the money back if we needed to.
So the rate that we have there with the state investment pool, will it go down now that we have a lower amount?
It's the
It
same
doesn't
no matter how much money you have in there. It's based on, the state changes that rate every day.
And you thought it was 3.75 now?
Well, it was 3.75 when we started talking.
Yeah, when I
about it.
looked last, it
That's
was
what
like
I had.
3.3.
That's what I got on the report from them.
And we indicate we're gonna take some money out of the checking account and move it into a higher paying interest.
That 150 that she.
150 out of the checking account into the savings account for 3.75% interest.
Which will leave how much in the checking?
Right now we have 557,000 in the checking.
And we'll take a chunk of that out, 150,000 out of that. Question is, how much do we need in the checking account?
Well, like our bills that we just paid were, for instance, I'll just look really quick and see the check register. Like the bills that we just paid were 48,000 or 47,873.
Right.
For just for our end of the month bills.
So you could,
I mean, but we get money in on a daily basis.
Honestly, your guys' average daily balance is probably anywhere from $350 to $420,000.
Because, and we get money in every day for utility payments. We got 11,000 in today.
and the question is, how much do we, that's the question for starting this. We could take more than 150,000 out of checking and put it in, I mean, we might as well put it somewhere with some interest, as long as our cash flow is good. I mean, it sounds like we've been having way more money in checking, considering our cash flow than we really need it. I mean, a lot of people do that. They put the money into the checking account and forget about it, and then it just runs on and on and on, and they have plenty of money there, but they're not getting any interest in.
So what, so if we did put more money into the savings account, as long as we didn't go below 500,000, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Nope, and at that time, if you guys have a better rate elsewhere, I can make that request to match it.
So.
Any deal that you think is better, come see me and I'll see what I can do before you think about pulling that money.
So I mean, would you guys want to put,
Let's worry about that later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can talk about that later.
We can,
Let's go ahead and do what we done
so
before.
if we added, can we add to it at that rate though?
Yeah.
That's what I need to know.
Yeah, it's not locked in. You can add whatever amount you want into it.
Give us some
You and
time.
I were just initially talking about that minimum
Right,
amount.
right.
So if we put 250,000, that wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, I have it approved for 500,000, so there might be a slight adjustment, but I don't think so.
But you have it approved for 650 because 150 out of,
Out of the checking and then the 500 back.
right, from the state investment pool.
But if we want another 100,000, you have to get that approved.
If you went an extra, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, if you add an extra 100,000, that doesn't matter. It's if you're gonna decrease it, it
Yeah,
would probably look
I mean, it
different.
wouldn't be, that's not, he's just talking about adding more.
Yeah.
Not taking out, no.
Yep.
So,
So.
This is a big deal.
yeah, we're still.
I know, I just want, the only thing is, I just have a slight reservation, and we've talked about this before, I think it's a very difficult position to be in, to be presented with something of this magnitude of money, without having an opportunity to really think on it and do full research, because the biggest mistakes we've made was we made a quick decision on something that sounds really great and not had time to sit back or ask some more questions, and I appreciate, I mean, I'm 100% for, I see no reason that we probably wouldn't do this, it wouldn't be good, I think it's great to support the community, but I just feel that in all fairness to the council, we should be allowed to have one meeting to be
I would have,
introduced and
but
one.
she just brought this to
But
me.
that happens a lot.
No, so then,
you
I mean,
know-
so then you can say not to do it.
Yeah, I
mean,
know,
that's totally up to you guys.
I'm just stating it's
Yeah.
discussion for the sake of the council,
Right.
for those, I'm just saying that's one reservation that I have.
I have the same reservation, Shelley.
So what are your guys' reservations on it?
Is,
Like
my
anything I can
reservation is just
answer?
not having time to think about it and not having it in paper in front of me. That's just because I'm not a numbers person. And so it just helps me, but I trust you, I think it's really good, but we're responsible for a lot of money, it's taxpayers' money, it's not my money.
Yeah.
And so I just want to be seen as somebody who is errs on the side of caution when making a major financial decision. The only thing that it's conflicting for me is it's about supporting our community, and so that makes me probably gonna vote yes for it tonight, but I'm just stating
Well,
that
the
this
money-
isn't the way that I like to do
Yeah,
things.
the same amount of money is still there, and it can go back if we decided
I
not
know,
to.
I just like to be able to
Yeah.
understand and really think it through and make sure we haven't missed anything in making a decision.
Question,
That's all.
is there any way we could see it in a written form, in a sheet, and stay within the guidelines of 7 to 10 days left. Maybe have a quick special meeting after we have a chance to review the numbers in written form before.
Because that's money.
I mean, I know it's
not spending money,
it's
though.
clunky, but I'm these are big deals. I mean, I have no real concern that per se, but going slowly on these kind of decisions, we're talking about $750,000.
The only good thing is, and I'll say it again, if it doesn't work, I mean, if you guys, whatever, it can always go straight back to the state federal school.
That's fine. I didn't mean, I just wanted to be on record of saying that. I hope
Okay.
going forward, we could try to do our very best
Okay.
and not make canvas such a down.
All right. Seeing no further discussion, I'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of, we gotta pull this. All those in favor, we'll start with Pete.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll say yes, I know they're not
Okay,
concerned.
motion passes 5-0.
I'll change mine to yes.
No, you're not gonna change now. All right.
It's good.
Motion passes 5.
We don't all have to vote the same, Pete. There's nothing wrong with that.
I will call
No,
you.
no, I have no
Don't call
problem.
me tomorrow because I have meeting all day.
That's fine.
And all like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haley.
Thank you for looking out for us, Haley. Actually, it's gonna be good for us.
Yeah.
No, I get where you're coming from, but I just, in many places, it's positive, it's nice to have a unanimous vote since it was this, but I have no problem with my vote.
All right, that's fine. Okay, great, okay. Our attorney said he was gonna be here, so we're gonna slide a, executive session down the, yeah, till he gets here, hopefully, because we're not gonna go to executive session without him. Okay, golf course remodel, you guys see some of the information that's in your packet from Vista. I'm in conversation with Ms. Zimmerman, and she has forwarded the information on to Chris Morris, and he has yet to contact me back. That's the next step. I sent her an email and says, okay, I'm a little naive or a little raw on this stuff. I'm gonna have to have somebody grab my hand and show us how to do this. So that's where we're at, okay?
Rory, is this two separate? It's all together. So there's the 5,644 and then there's the 25,000. Are these two different bids? What, are these offered grants? I guess I'm not 100%
Yeah, they're
sure.
just-
Different things.
They're just bid estimates at this point. Okay?
And so this, we're just looking at bids. These aren't any offers of any.
No. There's nothing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay,
Okay.
what does this looking mean?
So the first page is insulation, and the second page is for a heat system.
Okay.
The second bid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is just what it would cost us if we were to pay for it for ourselves. This isn't anybody saying this is what we're gonna come in and do for you.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing solid here at this point.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go on. Building inspectors fees. Do we want to do anything on that tonight, guys?
On this last topic, I just, we want to make sure that, what Roy is saying is right. Vera and I went to a meeting with the golf course board, and they were very positive about it. They were very interested and motivated. We talked about the financial statement, which is positive. They're interested in some type of a fundraiser to help this along. They were impressed by the money from Avista so far, but it's premature. And so those are good things. They're there. They're willing to work anywhere they can. They're talking about interacting with the business community more. And they're on board that. And so they're willing to go everything. I think the last thing that our mayor told them is that the next step is, besides what you had stated, was to get the court involved directly. And he said he was gonna do that. Our mayor is the point person for the port, And so I think it's all positive. So that's positive stuff.
Okay, all right.
So the building inspector, is that what you're asking about?
Yes. Yes,
So
ma'am.
I just want to ask the council to consider, and like, so we have Kendra provided the revenue that came in. Am I correct, Kendra? This is the revenue that came in for permits since 2021. Oh yeah, I saw the heading on yours. I thought you were looking at something different. And so in 2021, it was almost 5,000, and then it's fluctuated. 2025, it was about half of 2024. And then so far about 1,200 for 2026. Dave brought up last fall, we pay $6,000 a year for our building inspector, right? Because it's $500 a month. Am I correct, Kendra? So I think that we ended up bringing more in 2025 than we first initially had this discussion. And I think tonight we don't need to get into a big thing decision. I guess the thing to decide is you talked about some different ways that we could approach this. One, maybe bringing in the guy from Roselia and having him, contract with maybe some fee that would cover our office fees. Or Kenda has worked with one community where the building inspector, when he'd go out, there'd be a certain amount for each time he went out. A small portion went to the town and the rest went to the building inspector. So based on what we see here, do we stay with what we're at, or do we consider changing to one of those two models? And I think maybe we should have this discussion in our next meeting more and look into it and bring those up. Maybe it's working fine the way it is, but at one point, and one thing I think I'll point out, from 2022, when there was kind of a jump for a couple of years, those were right after COVID. There was a lot of work going on in people's homes, and people were doing a lot of work on their properties. There's a lot of movement, so that might be why it went up so much from 2021. Then now I wonder if 2025 is a little more realistic, because there seems to me like there's a lot of building that's going on. So was there just a super abnormal rate in those other years to have it
I
be
didn't
so?
look back, I'd have to look at every.
No, I don't know. I'm just
See,
raising for the council some theoretical questions here. And I mean, as long as I guess if it's paying for itself. But the discussion has come up several times, so I kind of like us to figure it out and either make a decision at whether we want to adopt a different model, or are we fine with what we're doing as long as we are not underwater?
Well, what's the qualifications? I would look at that. And what's the qualifications of the building inspector? How much, has he got into this? What's his knowledge or anything else? You just can't go and say that looks good. And we ran into some of those cases already in town. So we got in a little bit of problems over it. So I know if you want it, I can make arrangements for the individual from Rosario to come over and give you his spill, I guess.
I would like to see that. We talked about that last year. I'd like to see him. That would be a good idea.
And he's licensed, bonded, and he's an actual building. I mean, that's his career.
He's the building inspector for the northern Whitman County.
Okay, we'll revisit this next week. You guys think about this, we'll see if we can get more information. Do we need to talk training budget here tonight, Kendra?
No, but
No.
you don't want to just on you got a
Yeah,
scholarship?
I got scholarship for this training that's gonna happen.
At the last
After
meeting,
all of
on
that.
Friday, I know after all that, on Friday,
It covers everything. So,
it covers the mileage, the hotel and the,
entry.
and for the conference he's going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, at this point, we're gonna go to executive session for the purpose of litigation and property acquisition or disposal or whatever. So I just have to say.
How long?
We're gonna come back in 15 minutes. We'll come back at 25 after. Okay? You look pretty good. You all busted up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm late.
No,
You have a time watch?
It's just 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
So that got broken in parts too.
Yeah, so, I would.
And how come the Mariners are the third inning?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And so just let me know what. Oh,
Yeah, we will.
all right. Have a good one. Thank you all. Thanks, kids. I'll see you later.
Thank you, take care.
Marcus.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this.
You don't even know what they're talking about.
Maybe it's a good thing they didn't know.
Well, she decided to visit with her mom, because in our evening, the way it worked out tonight, she didn't get any time with her. So it's,
When did I hear that you guys are moving hard soul?
so we changed it, so last week of June. Yeah, so,
I was talking to Kathy a little bit this morning.
yeah, so we're flying home on the 4th of July,
Okay.
so that I can work a couple of days and save myself a little bit of vacation, so that it's a 4-day drive. And then we'll be up there, we'll spend like 3 days. And I think, so we're moving into Fairbanks, but we're gonna fly home from Anchorage. Because I've never been up there, Fairbanks
What's
is
the distance between the two?
5 hours. I've never driven it.
So
I've been to both, but I've
So
never,
they'll drive you 5 hours to get on the plane.
well, we're gonna stay down there a day or two. in Anchorage. Yeah, so we'll drive for 4 days, sit for a day, drive for a day.
Has she got a lot of stuff to take?
Um,
Trailer?
Not really, she's leaving some stuff here, she just got a storage thing in the warehouse down there. So they're gonna get a U-Haul, no, actually, they're buying a trailer, because then she can store her stuff. They only have a
Yeah,
park right
like, I think
Then they wanna get
that
out.
might be one of their things.
So they're buying a trailer. He has a half-ton pickup, so whatever you can tell with that.
How long was she able to stay with it after they got married? Before she had to come back down here?
What makes me ask that is because
Not long,
Not very long.
week or so. They haven't really done a honeymoon yet.
Well, it's time. They got married in December, right?
Yeah, 6th, I think it was, yeah, because Aria died
And I have to sit there and
the
wonder
4th or 5th, was it?
what happened to them. Were they all
I think
right?
my granddaughter
Yeah.
died right before. And we was like,
Nobody has the
we're having a
answer,
happy
because it just
thing right after the
slowly,
Sabbath.
you know,
How could you possibly know?
Yeah, my friends. will
You
tell
know,
me.
it was a year ago that
Downtown.
Sammy got pregnant, and there's no way we would have known that the baby
My
died.
son,
Was
I
the
swear,
baby actually
he
in
was
surgery?
very good.
I've heard
No,
so
no,
many
she
stories,
was,
you know, like.
so they decided that the only thing that would fix her was the heart. That's it. And so she was just waiting for her, and they had 13 things injecting into her all the time. And she was, gosh,
But it's not enough.
it's been a few months, I'm trying, just trying to remember everything, but there was,
God just wasn't able to let her stay down here.
And-
He needed her.
yeah. Sammy's really good about posting stuff every month, and birth month and
Yeah.
stuff, and then
Of course, you probably.
her grave is not far from their house, so she
I don't know.
takes the
How
boys
old do
there
you think
quite
I
a bit.
am?
Because this is something that they don't really understand, because they really didn't get to know her.
She was never home. They only ever saw her in the hospital.
You know, Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's not.
yeah, and the sort of plastic tub, she didn't really grow, she
We
was
don't have
2
a lot of
months,
those,
a month, 7 weeks.
No, good boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Chase is 11, William is
Yeah, you said that.
7,
But it's no.
and Giovanni's 5.
So 5-year-old.
Not much.
Well, this-
He talks about it.
Oh, sure, and that's great that
Yeah.
they're keeping her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got
I played both.
a shelf thing in their living
Grew up
room that's pictures and
majority
cast
the
of
time
her
in
hand
smaller
and foot.
towns.
So, there's a lot to remember her that
Utah for
somebody did some
And then
pencil
moved up
drawings,
here,
I think they're
love
pencil
it.
charcoal maybe,
college. Down to Utah.
of they took it from the photographs with their eyes open and kind of made her look more alive. And he's a couple of charcoals, so they got those out. So it's kind of neat to look at those and think, that's what she would have looked like.
Yeah.
Because she had, they had her intubated, which is, it's tough for an infant like that, but so her mouth was taped up. Fish face you make, it looked kind of like that, like all the time. So you couldn't really get a good picture of her. They had her off stuff for a while, but her mouth was just kind of formed like that from the tape and all that, so it just stayed like that. So, yeah, there was some number it was just kind of creeping. And it was like a heart attack. She was gonna die of a heart attack. So that number just kept creeping towards.
Exactly.
Well, it was, yeah, so that the right ventricle never formed. And then what they found over in Seattle was both the cardiac or arteries, so the ones that take blood to the heart, not the pumping stuff, but keeping the heart alive. Those are both blocked. So the heart wasn't getting any blood other than what was just kind of trickling into it. No, she was pretty well turned, but they knew this. They picked it up on the first ultrasound, so they knew it the whole time.
Yeah, there's that. Hoping it would have gotten.
Well, they had a plan. It's a condition that's known, each ventricle has its own condition that doesn't form. So they had this plan all worked out. And so they did it. They put the 2 stents in beforehand.
I appreciate that.
Well, and I just sent it home.
So that's what they were kind of like.
400 people. 400 people in my house. I was like, you're all taking this.
Awesome, that's what I need.
So that's what you.
End of year celebration?
Yes, that's
Yes.
open to the public?
Yes, it
That's
is.
the one I went to last year.
It
right? That was
is,
awesome.
but that one was
Yeah.
during the day, but this one they wanted at night.
Okay.
Is there any
You got a
left?
comment on Jennifer's shirt.
Oh yeah, right here.
May the fourth be with you.
Good job.
I decided not to say
I've
anything.
been thinking that all day with it. Have you seen all the?
Well, then tomorrow's Revenge of the Fifth.
Is it?
It's also Cinco de Mayo, come on.
Yes.
And it's
Cinco de
also
Mayo.
We love to have Mexican food on
Got
Cinco de Mayo.
But it's also missing murdered Indigenous Women's Day tomorrow, so.
Oh.
I didn't even notice. It's not really sure what that's
Yeah,
good.
tomorrow's Mother's Day.
Well, that's the triple.
I didn't say anything.
I know, I saw it, and I didn't even think about it. It's like, oh, yeah, the fourth be with you. Yeah.
I
figured that would be
like, so this day is done, erase this day, wait, no. Got this on the to-do list and.
So Suzanne and I and a gal from Lake
Yeah.
Did you give
coffee
one?
every other Monday, so we get to visit with Kathy a little bit.
No, I work at the tribal school over with.
You want one?
Sure.
You gonna come see us?
I went to it last year, the kids
Okay,
did
when-
a presentation.
May 26th. Oh, it's at night. I could probably.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
I work every
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Always take a picture of it, because otherwise I will lose the actual paper.
No problem.
What happens if you lose your phone?
It's backed up to the
Okay.
cloud.
He doesn't. How would you feel?
Where's the survey thing over there? Okay.
Yeah, here, we make sure, I'll stay around to make sure everybody gets one.
Oh, you want the paper?
Yeah.
Here, darling.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You wanna do a survey? Sure. It really helps. Or, yeah.
You betcha.
You wanna do it
I will see it.
online or?
Bye, guys. See ya, take care. Thank you.
You done your survey?
Survey says.
I'll even cheat, I'll even steal you a pen.
Oh, do it right now. No time to wait, huh? I have a 7-minute survey, completely anonymous. They usually have these out down at the food bank. Wow. Wow. Service. This will come up to that. Well, thank you. You think you were a school teacher or something?
See, I don't know, I get sworn at, I get stuff thrown at me.
Oh, I'm sure, but you're still a school teacher, even if that's.
Well, see, today it was like, I had some shoes thrown at me, telling me, you throw one more shoe at me, you're gonna disappear. You can't make them disappear. Yes, I can.
Watch me.
So a croc got from me, I just caught it, opened my window, and I just threw it out the window.
And you probably got reported to the office.
Oh no, they were like, you can't do that. I'm like, watch me. Took the other one, threw the other one out the window.
Oh,
Where did you teach at?
The driving school. This met.
Oh, just.
And so they were like, you can't do that to my shoes.
I
Right there.
what goes on,
Says
Well,
5'6",
how am I
no,
gonna get it back?
5'4".
You have 2 feet. Go get them.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's
you're gonna throw crap
whatever
at
you want
me.
down
Go
here.
get it.
You know,
That's
you
consequences.
just
Throw it. There
don't
it
know
goes.
if you don't know.
No, I did with my sister. Hey, they threw their shoes at me. I threw it out the window. They needed a break anyway. Mom just was like, oh well, that's fine. So mom didn't
Gives
care.
us something to know, doesn't it? Tells us we need education or.
Yeah, he works there with me.
Oh, the mayor's son works.
Yeah, he works there with me.
How old is his mayor's son?
Asking me all these serious questions.
Yeah.
I don't know how old
I saw-
Corey is.
I saw James a couple of
Well,
weeks ago.
Oh no,
Adam.
he teaches with me.
Oh,
So I teach middle school English. He teaches middle school math.
Oh, okay.
So he really hates his life.
I saw James at physical therapy a couple weeks ago. He was doing so
Is
well.
James, does he work in the tribal school?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that. What does he teach?
Gifted and he took my old job. He
Which
teaches
was?
gifted and talented.
but he's not there this year, so.
Yeah,
after
he's
his
not there
accident.
most of the
But
year.
he,
He's
he said he is going back next year. I talked to him at length. It was
yeah,
pretty
he's
awesome. He's doing so good.
he's doing he got permission to do some intensive reading stuff with some of our kids who need more reading help, and he's doing it all over the computer because
Oh, nice.
he's bored at home and he wants to do something. He wants to do something to help keep busy. So
He said he does still want to do a benefit, concert up here. Remember, he was gonna do that and then he broke
Yes.
another bone. So he said he would still like to do that at some point.
yeah, tell him he can't do the same thing he did with us. He did a benefit for
I
he
know,
went to our
and then
he went to our Christmas party at work and then promptly broke a bone.
Right,
Oh,
because we
no.
were supposed to have him shortly after that at the
Mhm.
theater.
So tell him he's not allowed to do the same thing.
And he was in really good spirits and he was walking quite well.
Yeah.
And, it was hurting him to walk,
Yeah.
but he was walking unaided, so that was pretty cool.
Is that what, the store? You got one at the store.
You haven't filled it out yet.
Yeah. You can do that. Or we can switch, you can be. Oh, yes, here. You're invited.
Sam,
Yeah.
why? Do they know me?
I don't know.
They know of you.
They don't. How do you? That's what I said.
If they actually know of me, they wouldn't have invited me.
Are you invited to now?
Who was that? Mark Twain said, I would never join a club that would have me as a member.
I think that sounds, yeah, sounds like something you said.
Jeez.
Kind of the same principle here.
Well, see, it's funny. I always tell my kids, like, I don't know who this Mark Twain is. I'm like, okay, don't know. His name was Sam. And I'm like, what? I'm like,
I could have said Wilbur Rogers, but probably was him for all I know. But he was just good.
So if the library's not open, can we put it in the book drop? Well, if nobody's there.
agenda. I'm gonna ask you a question real quick while I'm thinking about it. Remind me. Remember how much dog registration is?
For
Registration.
a fixed dog or a non-fixed dog?
This is the,
There's a lifetime one.
yeah, I was like, there's the lifetime and then there's just the.
Oh, I have a few resolutions to say.
Because I do not recall off the top of my head.
I have it right here.
What
so
was the
lucky.
sheet on?
It's
No, I
$100
usually
for a
wouldn't have
lifetime if they're fixed.
How much is it?
$100 per lifetime if they're fixed.
That's not how much we paid for our dog.
I have $10 for a permanent license for each neuter or spay dog.
Okay, I was like, that sounds.
$10.
I was like, that sounds
20
better.
bucks for each
I was
unaltered
like, that
dog.
sounds better.
Look at this.
I was like, that sounds right.
Good job coming back around 25 after.
So $10 a year.
No, they need more. They changed it.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah. I was scared because.
I was so.
Very
$10 a year.
Right. No, I didn't put his name on it.
Okay, let us show that we come back on time for the first time ever at 25 after, and the executive session is closed. We seem to have lost somebody. All right, so,
To somebody.
yeah, all right, so, this point,
What's up, Lucky?
We don't talk about that street levy paving thing.
we don't know any really more information, okay?
We haven't received any additional information concerning this.
Right.
So what I think would be cool when you do, maybe if you put it in your newsletter, what streets that are put in that. It's not, I don't think people could come here and ask, but if it's,
We don't
that
know
is good. I know, I said,
As we know more information, I'll try to keep you posted, how's that? And hopefully it's before the trucks arrive. All right, at this point, we're gonna go to, we're gonna skip contractor to burn pile fee. Resolution to increase sewer rates, ma'am?
So we had a discussion and we, in order to have enough money to get $5 million in grant, you have to have the low to median amount for your sewer rates. So what I've been told is that we would need to have our sewer rates between $120 to $130 a month, which I know is a lot of money, in order for us to get $5 million in grant for our sewer plant project. Which I know, like I said, it's a lot of money, and I don't know what we're looking at. I don't know, has anyone given you guys any amount as to what they think that the actual sewer project will be?
Not really, but what's happening is, I think with a lot of communities, they're probably not gonna get a sewer plant for a lot of years. Because Trump just cut back the Department of EPA 51% budget.
So we don't have to redo our sewer plant?
So that's where we get money from out of that right there. I don't know what's gonna happen for the next few years, but we still should raise the rates up, still just to be on the safe side. But I don't know, that the country's gonna have a hard time getting sewer plants for a little while.
Yeah, I agree. I knew
So-
it was coming.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
No, so, I mean, so what I've been told is to expect somewhere between 10 to 15 million would be the total budget for the sewer plant. So, but we'd only get 5 million in grant, and that would only be if we have our sewer rates at a high enough level. I don't wanna raise sewer rates either.
Yeah, but
It's a,
yeah, I mean, I've heard the 120 a month. I mean, we were only gonna do it gradually.
right, so they haven't raised sewer rates, you haven't raised them in 2 years, right?
What's your definition of gradual, ma'am?
We raised them a year ago this year, a year ago. I'm pretty sure we raised them in 2025. We discussed 2026, but we had so many different numbers thrown at us when Century West came at us with their thing, and it kept going back and forth, and then the plant price, and even Matt said it could be up to 25 or 20 million. So it just went back and forth. Then we were led to believe that we could get a larger percentage of forgiveness, up to 75%, and found out that wasn't true. So it's just been a little confusing, and it feels kind of tough to raise rates on our citizens when we really don't know what we're doing. So if we're solid, and I guess I just wish we had it settled, we could get done with Century West, get Matt on board so that he's setting some solid numbers.
And he told me that we will not have any solid numbers until they do the design, which is a year out after they get this part done. Remember he said that at the last meeting? So, and the only reason why I would think that we would want to raise rates some is so that we start, number one. So if we, I'm just gonna say this again, I think I said it before. If we get 5 million in grant and we have to pay 10 million.
Right.
Our loan that we got from USDA for our water project was 2.9 million in loan. So it'd be like about a third of what we would be getting for the sewer loan. So if we pay 115,000 a year for the repayment over 40 years. If we have to pay 10 million back, DOE only gives you a loan for 30 years. So it'd be a shorter period of time that we'd have to pay it back. So I'm thinking, I mean, this is just the easy math. If you take 115,000 times 3, because it would be 3 times the amount for the loan, would cost us about $345,000 a year for the payment. And we take in, if you have to pay back $345,000 a year for the payment and keep your sewer plant running, you're gonna have to have probably, I'm guessing, about 500,000 in revenue in your sewer on a yearly basis.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I know it's a lot of money. I know it's a huge thing to even talk about, but that's why if we raise it $10 now, and then we'll have more information hopefully at the end of this year. Look at it. So we'd actually start at June 1st is when it would be.
So are we 81 now?
We're
Is
at
that what
81
it's-
now, that's what I was gonna ask.
We're at 81 now. So I just put in the resolution in case you guys decide to do it. I changed it to sewer rates inside city limits per connection would be $91 a month, so that'd be 10 more. And sewer rates outside city limits would be raised to 97, and they were at 87 for that. So, and I mean, you guys can talk about it. I just brought the resolution in case you wanted to think about doing it. You can wait and do it at the May 20th meeting, and then if we did raise rates, it could be for June 1st, or you could wait till July 1st. I mean, you guys can say what you want to do.
$500,000 a year on 400 houses.
But
It's 120.
Let's do the 30-year loan, and I won't be around, so I don't care.
Or for the 40-year loan, we're paying off now.
Well, yeah, I won't be around for that either. So, and sometimes we're just gonna have to, the rates are gonna go up, but we're just gonna have to about what we spend, to watch what we spend. And that's what kind of offsets it.
I had that discussion.
Because there's other communities where I went with some engineers and they got hit for 30 million to put their plan in.
What?
And I said the same thing.
So,
Our fleet will go up.
Who's Garfield, 30 million?
30 million.
So I have a question on here. So I know this is going to stir the pot, but
that's good.
so sewer rates outside city limits. I don't know if it was 20 years ago or how many years, 15 years ago, there was discussion. There's several houses that off of Main that are outside of our city limits. And I think relics and some, and I don't know in other directions, but it just seems to me that I think they got really close to annexing them in. Something happened on the council when that
They
happened.
didn't want
I
to pay
think
the
that-
fees.
And then, they, at the last, I think the mayor at that time, vetoed it or whatever, it didn't go through, they didn't annex it. So it just, I kind of have a hard time taking names and people that I love out of there, just knowing that there are houses that we have that basically are right there getting our same service and they're only paying $10 a month more, to be on the system. And I don't know, does it benefit us more if they're annexed in? How much more would that benefit our town, to have them annexed in and with their tax base, would have more taxes from those homes as well. So maybe it's an offset, maybe it's only that $10, maybe that's all we would be getting in taxes from having them annexed in. But I just find it hard to believe that other towns and cities wouldn't be charging for people more than just $10.
It's not even 10. I was
Or
surprised.
no,
it was
yeah,
only 6.
what is it? I'm sorry,
I
it's
just raised it
$6 more.
$10 from what it was.
And I mean, this doesn't solve our problem because are we talking of not even a dozen homes maybe? I don't know what else there is
Like
that
6.
is in here.
Yeah.
And eventually, probably the industrial park will probably, I would assume, eventually be annexed in at some point, and then that money would come into the town, or we should be charging them a fairly large amount more to be on our system. I mean, I don't know how we can economically not consider that, because it just was $6 a month more than the citizens when we're carrying this burden, like you said, 400 households or whatever. I think we have to consider that. That doesn't necessarily mean we hold up making this increase, but I think we have to have a serious discussion about either annexing that or charging more for their use of our system. And I don't know if I'm off base on that or.
Stephen, if you're gonna annex them, do they have to, can we just do it, or do they have to, they have to approve it?
Well, they can petition to be annexed in.
If we wanted to do it and they don't wanna do it,
You just want to do it arbitrarily and,
I'm just hypothetical.
I believe it has to be put up for an election, but I just don't remember, no one's asked me that for about 15 years. So I just don't remember.
And that's probably when it was brought up about that. But the problem is they get our services pool, they don't have to let, and then we plow that road. And so that is a kind of a hassle, and they get a lot of benefits being outside the city, and they're paying just a little, water and sewer, and that's just basically it.
Well, you can charge whatever you want.
I know that they need to charge more.
And that if you charge them a certain amount, that might motivate them to want to become.
Well, because I was on the council back then, if I remember right, I'm just peeking into the dark corners of my brain, but it was gonna cost us a couple $100,000 because we don't have hydrants out there.
Oh.
And it was gonna be,
Yeah.
it was gonna be a 20-year payback just to get that money out of it. And those people out there they didn't really want to be in the city. The insurance, the taxes are less. There's real reasons that they didn't want to be there. So we just, okay, fine. And in the road deal, that's a trade-off with the county.
Yeah.
We plow the road and the county plows one of ours.
Yeah, that's the trail. And then when the county was doing that, they said, okay, the county's gonna do it. The county said no, because we would have to have the road fixed to our
Right.
specifications. So there was a little bit of compromise on both sides.
It was discussed for probably 6 months, and then they just decided there was no advantage for them or us.
So you're saying there's only 6 houses that is not included?
6 or 8.
6 or 8 houses,
6 or 8, something like that.
but they are on our sewer
And
Yeah.
water.
And one.
and water. Are they paying the same prices?
657, the difference between 47.50 and 54 for water, so
So why
7.50.
is it not the same if they're using the same sewer system? Why is it the same price?
And the sewer is $6 difference.
I paid a little bit more.
Because they're out of the city.
But they're using our system. It should be the same price, whether in the city or not.
Well, they should
We're
be
charging
paying
them
more.
more.
But
We
that's
should
just a
charge
little
them
more.
More because they. get
Oh,
our
I'm
service
sorry.
without-
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm suggesting that if we increase those who are inside the city limits, I think we need, maybe annexation maybe be out, maybe not beneficial in at this point, but maybe charging them a little more than we are now, and bump theirs up. Because, that's a hefty increase for the rest of us, and I think they have to help carry the burden of it.
Well, I don't know why, it used to always be $10 when I was here, so I don't know when it got changed to less than 10. I mean, I don't have any
Oh,
idea.
the difference.
Yeah, the difference.
Yeah.
For sewer and $10 more
$10
for
for,
water.
yeah, that's what it used to be.
Well, then when we get to that's probably what I would suggest, that we have at least that, so we're paying $20 a month more than the citizens, and
Okay.
So we won't talk about this till another 2 more weeks.
No, we're gonna wait, now that we've opened we've warned you.
Wait for repercussions.
Well, the proposal is $10.
Yes.
And like I say, it's simple math. If it costs us 500,000 and we got 400 houses, so you can do the math and it goes to about 120, 125 a month.
And I know it's hard for some people, I mean,
Yep,
it's a horrible
it's
thing,
hard.
but I don't know what we do to pay back the loan that
Yep.
that we're gonna have to get. Even if it ends up like you said, it could be even a little bit longer because if
It will be, because it's gonna be later in the season, I guess, even if it's 5, 6 years from now. There's no way we're getting a new plant for 5 years. And so the cost of living and everything's gonna go up by then. So it may be 40 million by then.
So we don't even have the loan yet though, right?
Pardon,
We don't even have the loan yet.
we haven't even started that process.
We don't know
because
what the amount is.
we have to wait until, so like Matt said, oh, you weren't here. So Matt told us that that Century West needs to finish their part of it, we need to get the plan done, and then we go to design. Well, even that is 1.5 million for the design, and we have to pay half of that. I mean, it's just another loan,
It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
Roy,
Yes, sir.
I just looked it up. It is either
What you looking at on?
on my phone.
Oh. Yes, sir. Okay, speak, Stephen.
It's either by petition from the property owners in the potential annexation area or by an election. And the people in the proposed annex or area to be annexed would have to vote in the majority.
Okay, the people within the annexed area get to vote on that?
Right.
Only the people within the
Yes,
area.
that's right.
So if there's 8 houses, there'd be 8 people.
Yeah.
Or
16, or whatever.
Whoever owns lots, because there may be,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, who's ever got any property. Huh, interesting. Okay, all right, enough said. Okay, well, thank you, appreciate that.
I remember way back when, in the coast, when they put sewer systems in, they just told everybody, this is way back when, everybody will get billed $4,000 a piece. You just gotta make it happen.
That's
Even
a
ask
utility district usually is what they do.
$4,000 a piece, have a nice day, no choice.
I don't think that 4,000 would even cover this stuff.
Oh, no, this is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
so there's no increase to the water fees, though?
Not at this
But,
time, unless you guys
but
want to.
we had that big discussion about that when the yearly, the annual report went in, and there was the state sort of had a red flag, as we understood part of that was some COVID monies, but the discussion did come around several times, we're kind of thin in our reserves for water, am I not right, that we're, and Davis brought up different times about maybe that we need to consider being careful there, so I guess I would be more inclined to take that $10 and increase both of them.
If you look at your treasurer's report, if you look on the front page on the number 1 side, if you look at our water fund, the ending balance in the middle, we have 132,000 in water and 150,000 in water reserve. So, I mean, if we had to have a big project, that would take a lot of that reserve. You know, if we have to do something for a well, right, Dave, like a pump or a, like,
That's the sad part about it, is we should have been raising the rates at a continuous basis.
well, even slowly, like even $1 or $2, at a time on a yearly basis.
Things could break down. The big well, it's been 40 years now since that thing has been pulled. And it was put in 75, it hasn't been pulled yet.
That's a pitless adapter too,
Yeah,
isn't it? It sits up above
How do you think about it?
or not? Is that pitless?
What?
The big well, is it a pitless adapter?
The big well, it's out there, yeah,
Correct.
yeah, tracks.
So then the sewer fund has 286,000 right now. And, then 390,000 in the sewer plant. Or actually, that's the reserve for the sewer. So,
See, and that was the controversy that we're saying, the 25 for the 15, whatever it was for the taxes in the water and the taxes in the sewer. We were trying to put them into the fund,
oh yeah,
but we were asked not to do that. And so it stayed in general fund. And I believe that those tax dollars should go back into the fund, and that help relieve some of the problem.
but we only have 163,000 right now in
Yeah,
general.
and that's where my thing is, you need to look at where we can save.
Huh?
Where can we save? Where can we cut?
Oh, I had that discussion the other day, didn't I, Mayor? With all the staff.
And so that was my thing, is I think that money for the water and sewer taxes needs to go right back into the water and sewer fund. That's just my feel.
So we're calling the sewer reserve plant project, but
That's been that way for a long time.
okay, so 390, but there's still 150 going there, right? So
Right.
it'll be at 500,000 here.
Yep.
pretty soon.
Mhm.
But that could be pulled for something other than the plant. So
Yes,
if
that could
something
be
else,
for-
anything
And
sewer related.
Right, right.
Okay, so I guess the reason I guess if we're gonna have to make an increase of $10, I would rather see part of that go towards the water. And then be more incremental about continuing, like you said, if it's really gonna be 5 years, so maybe $2 of water, $8 sewer, or $7 on the sewer and $3 on the water. But my suggestion was that part of that $10, I don't wanna do more than $10 total to our citizens. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
tough one for people,
I'd
so.
like to go home and eat. I tell my wife that, I'm just.
I mean,
Okay, so what's your pleasure? We'll think
and we
about it.
don't
We'll
have
come back.
we don't have to
Come
do it
back.
tonight. I mean, it can be something that you guys
We'll come
think
back
about.
on the 18th.
And you can make the decision then if you wanna raise either one or both of
I mean,
them.
is there opposition to the raise? I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time we've talked about $10 at one time for a while.
The initial plan was,
$5 a year.
yeah, I think it was $5 a year
Starting in 2008.
per feet.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's been, what, 6 years ago?
Oh,
Well,
God.
No,
But we
2008, when I started, it
Yeah.
was $5 a
Oh,
year, what we were
20.
gonna do.
Yeah,
But we
it's
did
fine.
raise it a couple
Yeah.
times since I've been on the council.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
the
we did.
recession hit and we backed it off and then we put everything towards the sewer and quit raising the water.
All I know is 12 years ago when I first moved here, it was $114 a month.
For everything.
Yes,
Right.
Well,
now I'm at 180.
So how much would it mess you up if that money, tax money, went right back into the funds it's supposed to be in?
oh, you mean coming out of the general fund?
Yeah, because it's not supposed to go in there, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not supposed to, because since I started here, it's always gone to the general fund. That is what it was, that's what they used it for from the get-go. So I understand what you're saying though. Or maybe you could do, but we need money in the general fund too.
Right.
Because we put all of our electricity, utility, all goes into street fund.
Well, then I think the council really seriously as we look at this, there needs to be some cuts and some things.
Like, what do you want to cut?
I don't know yet. But we need to look at it.
Yeah. I just said, we need to, you need to know where the money's coming from. We don't just buy stuff.
Because it's going to hit a lot of communities hard when it starts to come down. And what are they going to do? Because, you know, a lot of little towns, have gonna have to, the river keepers are the biggest problem. And I'll tell you right now, it is, you could put in these lagoons and everything else and cool the temperature down. And so that's one thing you don't have to have a holding tank on, if the temperature is the same temperature as the creek. So I think with this, budget cut with the EPA, I think we're gonna start seeing some better engineering. That's just my feeling.
Well,
Or they're
Stephen,
gonna delay everything.
Hmm?
They could probably delay everything. I mean, people are gonna be able to put it off. So I
we've
think,
already delayed it a lot.
yeah,
I mean, cause when I quit, we were gonna have, I mean, we went and met with all the funding agencies probably in, I'm gonna say 2020, before COVID, maybe 2019, 2020, and they were saying that you have to get this done, you have 10 years at the most.
right.
And then they kind of backed off on that because they're not giving us the
There's no money,
pressure.
there's just no money there.
But we can get a grant, we can get a loan.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already moved beyond, we've moved a long ways and are already working on a plan and we've gone a long ways and now we're trying to get a design. And so we've got to move at least that far and see where we are. And get that far, and that's gonna, so the anticipation of raising the water and sewer makes sense because the costs will keep going up. Dave, you know, you work on the water and roll you're out everywhere, you see it all. So it just seems to me that it's painful for people to have to come up with any money at all more. But it's gonna get worse if they put it off.
Especially the people that are retired and on fixed income.
It's terrible.
Kills them.
And it's getting worse with gas prices going up.
Right.
It's not easy.
I mean, if we don't have to do the sewer plant, I'm just trying to prepare us, so.
Yes.
And the problem is, like, we just did the lift station out at the sewer plant, ended up being $1.2 million. And when we started, it was gonna be 500,000.
Right.
And that's a 30-year loan, and I mean, that's a $57,000 a year we have to pay to that. I mean, you know, there's just all these things that we're paying back. We're paying back the gas pump at the airport. That was $43,000. That was a 10-year, I can't remember.
Yeah, that kind of pays for itself, though, doesn't it?
I'm just saying,
No.
so
So
does
if
the,
there's fuel out there.
yeah, we got fuel.
Oh, did we?
Yeah,
Okay.
Stephen came and got it yesterday with the guy.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, there's all those things, and so we just need to look at it.
Well, every house that hooks up is that much better,
Yeah.
right? Okay, we'll move on.
Do you want me to put it on the agenda next month
Yep,
then?
yep,
Okay.
please. Okay, we did this, okay, I'll accept we're gonna talk about the realtor to sell the buildings. I'll accept the motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the use of the realtor to sell the buildings.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Margie seconded, any
Who made the
discussion?
motion? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Pete moved it, Marge seconded.
So discussion wise, I guess it just means that, we need to notify Wi-Fiber that we're not gonna move forward on their offer
Right.
at this point and that we're gonna start over.
Yeah, okay. All
I
right,
think it's a great idea using the realtor.
Well-
Great idea.
it was only because I just wanted it to be as clean as possible, so, okay,
So that we just are, first of all, doing the motion just to sell the building.
just,
With the real.
We've already,
Okay. Oh, with the-
motion a long time ago that we're selling
Yeah.
it, but now it's with the.
Okay,
we
thank you.
surplused them,
Okay,
so,
and you second, I'm sorry. I'm still second.
Marge seconded,
Okay,
okay, sorry. Yeah, I forget, you didn't know we were doing this, okay, any more discussion?
oh,
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, approve community, yes, engineering, whatever bills for TIB and SWSW.
I have it here, approved realtor to sell building. So you guys are, that's what you're saying, made a motion to sell the buildings with the realtor, but we don't have to say a rate or anything with this.
No.
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Since I wasn't there.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, we'll go to E.
So I gave you copies of those. The only reason I didn't know that previously that we had to approve those, and I was told that we have to approve those before they can be paid every time, so I gave you copies of, it's just $101,005 for the SWSMP, for the engineering for that, and $8,212.42 for the TID project.
So I make a motion that we pay the bill through CE.
Okay,
I'll second it.
Thank you.
okay, then moved and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Budget amendment ordinance number 912.
So I have just made, it's just an interfund transfer to, if I can find it, from the current expense, which we budgeted for this 35,000. Right now, we're 4,000 short on the street fund, so you can't be in the negative. So I am going ahead and just transferring the 35,000 from the current expense to the street fund, so that we have enough money in the street fund. And like I said, you guys had budgeted 35,000.
I'll make a motion that we transfer the money.
Okay, moved. Dave seconded. Any discussion?
So question, you're moving how much over?
35,000.
Which is our budget, so.
Yes, we budgeted that.
But we're over, so we're over 4,000.
Right
So that'll
now.
leave 29,000 in there. And so will that cover us for the year?
Probably no.
No, we get money from the,
We get income.
Avista, utility tax.
So there's more coming.
Yes, but we need this right now, just so that we are not short in that fund.
Okay, so it's been moved and
Sorry.
seconded. Any more
Somebody
discussion?
did it.
I'm sorry.
Wait a second, I was typing and then I stopped.
Okay.
Who made the motion?
Right.
Thank you, okay, thank you,
Who's second?
thank you.
Dave second.
Okay,
All right. Did you catch up?
yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And no further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Bingo. Great. Anything else that I can think of? Ma'am, have we forgot anything?
I don't think so.
No, I'll think about it about 9 o'clock tonight, okay?
Yeah.
That we should have done something. Okay, at this point, we're open for public comments again from the audience. Anybody have anything? Oh, Mr. Chandler, we've got 3 minutes. Keep it clean and civil.
Just-
Really? You were fine until I said civil, weren't you?
Just to give you a basic overview of what you guys passed tonight, I'm not sure you know the ramifications and the overall prospectus. The bond markets internationally and within the state are extremely soft. They're especially soft in Washington. We're going to be looking, you're probably going to go down 2.5% at the rate the state's going. That will remain for 8 months at a minimum. When we get a new Federal Reserve chair, it'll take about 18 months for that money to recover and the bond market to strengthen. So roughly you're 24 months ahead of schedule. Bravo, you did the right decision without even friggin' knowing what you're doing.
Oh, it's people. One.
That equates to a minimum of $21,000 additional dollars that you would normally have per year until the bond market catches up. At that point, when the bond market catches up, you can hop right back on the state of Washington, which I rather doubt Washington is going to be on board with, but you're ahead of schedule. Bravo.
I'd probably just leave.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments at this point? Everybody's all spoke out? All right. Mayor's report. Couple things. March, we talked earlier, and I forgive you that I'm going to ask you now, but we talked earlier about you kind of taking over the community center and running. We are at this point lacking someone to clean it. have you got any ideas or plans or a thought?
No, because I thought you were gonna interview for the job. You
Well,
didn't give anybody
Marge, I know
time.
someone is interested, but
We've got some
I'll get-
people that are interested, but they're not probably, the people I've talked to are gonna want more money than what we have been paying, put it that way. Okay, so, maybe we'll, yes, ma'am?
So the person that is using the community center right now
Right.
for dance
Mhm.
should be cleaning it.
Mhm.
So I am going to go meet with her on Wednesday and say, you probably need to be cleaning this on a weekly basis since we're letting you use it for the reduced rate.
I agree with that.
I think that was the
Yeah,
original
great.
agreement that might set up with them.
Mhm.
Well, we went and looked at it, it didn't look very clean. That's all I know.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
you know, maybe she does it like every other, I don't know. We just went one time and
Yeah, I mean, I'm not feeling all that comfortable. It just seems like we need a little bit more oversight than just taking her word. Because I don't want to open it up on a day and all of a sudden somebody comes in. Yeah, because it doesn't give us any recovery if something were to happen.
So whoever rents it pays the extra fee or clean fee or whatever. I think
Yeah.
that's what we should,
But we need a walkthrough before and we need a walkthrough after that, so that we're all.
because we're talking about cutting these things for our sewer plant.
Right.
So whoever rents it out pays the cleaning fee.
well, so she has a reduced rate. She pays,
Yeah, but I mean, other people have rented out.
yes, they do. But we don't rent it hardly ever.
Right, exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Nobody ever uses it anymore.
So are there interviews? I mean, yeah, that was I thought we were gonna try to hire someone.
We've not had much pointed just for that.
Okay. So what,
Marge, I can, after, I have so many, talk to Leroy about.
at what rate are we at? Was it?
You guys set the rate.
That's
your
well,
guys'
whatever we pay, isn't it what we pay per cleaning in the other buildings?
Well,
That's minimum wage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people don't want to just get minimum wages, but it seems like, just so you know. I mean, that's been the problem.
that was, Donnell took it under her umbrella when she was deputy clerk and got people to help her clean it. And that was just extra dollars
Weren't
for
we
her.
paying 20 though?
Pardon?
Weren't we paying them 20? Didn't we agree?
Yeah.
I think it was a little more because it was a
Yeah.
little more involved.
You got
I'd
it,
have to look
yeah.
back at that. I don't know.
I thought the cleaning fee was like $200 or something.
150
Deposit,
deposit, 150.
right.
It was bad enough for everyone to use the place anymore.
Wait, I think I have it on this resolution when I pass back to you guys. Community, damage deposit, $150. Deposit for cleaning fee, $100 refundable if it's clean. Cleaning fee overage, $20 an hour. So I guess that would be what the fee is.
The people I've talked to wanted sufficiently more than that.
It's just interesting. Everybody wants it.
I think there's somebody that will do it for 20.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So my question, like on the 18th, we have a lot of people there.
Mhm.
And I guess I'll clean it.
Well, the
Because we
dance
don't have
lady needs
anybody.
to clean it.
Or
She
just
would
make
do it on,
sure,
by Wednesday.
just-
She would do it on Wednesday,
just make sure it's done.
and
Just
then if it's not
if
done,
it's
then,
not-
yeah.
get a hold of some people and we'll.
But afterwards, it has to be cleaned though.
Certainly,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what
Oh,
I'm saying,
yeah. Oh.
afterwards.
Well, Marge, no, you shouldn't have to clean it. You could
Well,
find somebody to do
But
it.
if I can't find anybody, I
Or
mean,
we all jump in
I'll
and
do
We'll
it.
help her.
We'll all
I'll do
help
it for
you.
free, people.
Okay.
Do
I can
everything
help.
else.
Okay, so as you guys know, on the 18th, we've got a small city connector meeting at, I believe it starts at 10:30. Usually goes till about 2 or 3. And if you want to sign up and go, you're all members, so you can go.
Where's this at?
Community Center
Oh, okay.
On the 18th.
So
on the 18th.
I think I have to sign them up, so if you wanna go, could you let me know?
Yeah,
'Cause
they need to
Did
know.
you do
I
that?
body
signed,
count.
I have not, I know, because I was waiting to see what everyone else
Okay,
did, so I can do it all at once.
When's it gonna be?
The 18th
18th,
on Monday
It's a meeting
at
day.
10 o'clock to,
Yeah, it's
till
like-
2?
2:30,
Yeah.
2 or 2:30, something like that.
So do you need help? is AWC coming in and doing all the setup? And-
Most of it, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so but do
They
you
just
guys
wanna know.
do
I
you
don't,
need any help?
tell it at this point, I will know more at the end of the week. How's
Okay.
that?
Yeah, I, since it's Sundays, I mean, I'd be glad to help
Right,
you if you need
yeah.
chairs set up or something.
Okay.
So, do you wanna go?
Mhm.
Do you wanna go? Do you wanna see if you wanna go?
I'll wait and see how I feel.
Okay, because we'd have to sign you up ahead.
Are you gonna be sick?
I'll go.
Well, no, but I'm gonna be.
Working extra to pay for it.
Richmond Saturday, Sunday for racing.
Oh, I thought maybe you wanted to work extra to pay for your sewer bill.
So I'll be fine.
That was good.
Still standing up for Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dave, Marge, Pete, you wanna go? Are you,
Mike, right now, yeah, he's
I
gonna.
wanna go, but I'll talk about this in a minute.
okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sign up Dave, Marge, and Pete.
And you've got me
I have you
and,
signed up
and
already.
Mike,
Yeah, Michael.
I don't have Mike signed up,
but he's
Yeah.
saying he'll
Okay.
probably
Okay.
sign up.
so I'll sign up all you
Okay.
guys.
All right.
So,
Okay. I think that's it, unless I.
Well, Lori, do you wanna say something about the groundbreaking out here? Cause I don't think everybody, I got an invitation to it, and you have to RSVP.
oh, you have to RSVP.
So I don't know that all the council members saw it.
Don't know that there's an RSVP there, but so on the 14th, I believe, at 11 o'clock, out at the
I know, we got the RPS.
Tekoa Mountain Industrial Park.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna,
What time was it?
11 o'clock, I believe. They're gonna have groundbreaking out there. There'll be a couple of people standing around with hard hats and shovels.
Golden shovels.
Yeah, something like that. And I think they've got it set for a half hour. I mean, it's not gonna be long, but. anyway.
That's really cool. Actually,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So, on the 14th. Okay, that's what I know.
Okay. All these dates are May, this May, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
May's a busy month.
For those of you who may or not know, there was a tour that Casey Louder brought, and the people we've been working with on the Riparian brought a tour through last week. And there was way more people there than I thought. I envisioned like there's gonna be like 6 of us, and we're all gonna know each other. There's like, I believe there's probably 30 people here. Yeah, at least, and they lunched here. They used our bathroom facilities here because this is, it worked out really well. And then we walked, kind of looked over some of the project areas.
What kind of project?
Riparian.
Well,
Like
the
you're
thing,
talking
the
about.
thing
Oh,
that Casey talked
Casey,
about. Yeah.
okay.
So can I ask you, I guess I didn't really understand how that's important to us. I mean, you were there, and maybe I just missed what, do you see that as essential to the city and worth in the future in costs that we would have to maintain? Because I don't know that there's a lot of flooding. I mean, once in a while, the water will come up on the river.
Every spring.
I think
Not
there's,
on that corner, not
Yeah, there
necessarily.
is.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, maybe.
it comes up there. And I talked to Casey quite a bit about this, and I says, we can't have it look like that. And so he was very clear about, it was gonna be very non-invasive what they were gonna do. They're gonna go in and control the mat, and reseed some grasses, get some different types of stuff started in there and stuff like that. Is it a short-term gain? I'm not so sure. Is it a long-term? Sure. And the way I've approached it, and the way kind of Eliza and I talked about this a couple times, was this is also available to private individuals to hook on to these projects later. And if the Pine Creek and the ecology comes in and does a really good job and kind of gets it established and has it look really good, then that's a great selling point as to why maybe we could get, just an example, on the other side of the creek from where this is. Maybe they could explore and do some more planting on that side of the creek. And when we did the tour, we went up here, sat up here and looked out over the Brownsfields area. And that's not off the table down the road. that we get them involved with planning down in there to help restore that area once the port gets it cleaned up. So, I mean, it's not a year deal, it's not a 10-year deal, it's probably a 20-year deal. But we gotta get started.
You know, what's interesting on that, Weatherly, it's kind of started with him in town. I don't know if Richard Weatherly, he was the mayor here one time. And, but he showed me that there was never any trees along this creek from 1888, whenever they could start taking pictures. And I said, no, there had to be trees here. And he proved it, there was no trees around it. But the reason is, one of them's the beaver. And,
And
then the next one is, remember in 97 when we had the big flood? I mean, it took out the walk bridge. So if they go and put big trees, you can imagine the ice jam that we're gonna have. And so they gotta be careful what they plant, because if they go plant ponderosa pines and all that, and that ice will just create a havoc. And so it's, I guess nature sometimes is smarter than man. And because there was no trees along the strip for
The beavers are gonna take care of the trees.
The other thing that I thought was interesting is there was a lot of people there from the Coeur d'Alene tribe, and they, a couple of them talked to me when Roy was doing this spiel, and said that they would be interested in helping us with the brownfield, and asked, you know, like what point we are with that. And I said, well, Kara from the Port of Whitman, the Port of Whitman, is she taking over on it, or, because I have.
They're running point on that now.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it would be interesting if the tribe really would help with that and get involved, and she said that that's one of the things that they are very interested in. A couple of the people that I was talking to there.
They've got a different pool of federal money than some of the other people.
but they do have proved that if the creek is shaded,
Yeah,
then you don't get the algae.
Right.
And, because that's a
plus
big
the
problem.
temperature,
And
the other things she talked about.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's what I know, so. Hold it, your staff, you first.
So I just, you guys saw the budget that I presented, with the treasurer's report, that's where we are with, so,
We trust you,
pardon?
we trust.
Okay, no, I know, don't trust me, I would rather tell you. So, and I don't know about the investment amount, because we only get the money once a year on that US bank. So I'm gonna do some more research on that, because, you know, I don't know what the rate is that we get from that, but it seems so silly to have all these different funds, all these different places, and have to keep track of all of it. And so I'm gonna look more into that, just so you know, and
And eventually we could put them over in the Granite Bank and have one
well,
of them.
depending, I don't know what the interest rate is that we get from, you know, an
It's a lot
investment account.
easier for you to monitor that.
Well, it would be, but it's a, like you said, it's a responsibility, it's good to monitor and see what we get the best rate.
Right, yeah,
You know, we got issues, so not to have any problem with the bank, and you're right, local investment's a good thing, but it sure came on fast, and,
you mean, because I brought it up fast?
no, I mean,
Oh,
you know, generally when we get these big issues, you know, we drag our feet and we
Yeah.
look at the stuff and we go, wow, okay, and then we eventually are comfortable and we run all the things down and we vote for it, but
and the only
which is
reason,
fast.
why it's so fast is because I talked to Haley about, I did not know how to transfer the 150 to the state investment pool, who I needed to talk to at Banner Bank about that. That's what brought it up to begin with. So then she talked to her people about matching the state investment pool.
Which was higher
Ah.
than where they were at. She has a good deal.
I mean, it sounded like a good deal, I was just said, yikes,
But that's the only reason why it even came up.
but it sounds like I mean, to guarantee that rate, that's a good rate, sounds like it's a good deal, it does, so. I'm amazed that they came up and stepped up and said they'd do that, right, but
Okay, anything else?
That's all I.
Oh, we hired summer help.
Oh,
We had
One person or two?
one. Gentleman's from Oakdale, so kind of, yeah, I think he's gonna work out really well. It's just interesting, our last Our last two summer helps have moved into full-time position.
Oh, yeah. What's his name? Who is it?
His name's Ryan, and don't ask me what his last name was. Because I interviewed him, he's a really pretty good guy, so. There's a
Stephen
lot.
liked him.
Stephen liked him, and he's the one that's got early 30s, I'm guessing.
Young guy. just a young
Ex-military.
guy.
Ex-military.
What is it, still right away starting, helping us get ready for some.
Morning. In the morning, yeah. Yep. All right, I think that's the end of what I, okay. And JJ's working out really well.
He's great.
He's a good guy. He is.
The only thing I think we should go with and get a chipper.
Okay. You know, Jeff was really hot on that. You know, and he was gonna kind of get that before he thinks that'd be a good deal.
Yeah, should chip up half that stuff. out
Yeah.
there.
Well,
That's what I was thinking.
that's what I thought, but didn't you steer me wrong from a chipper? 'Cause
Me?
Yeah, didn't you say that
I don't know.
chipping's not a great deal, because then you gotta get rid of the chip, I mean, I don't know,
You can
somebody,
still burn them.
I think it was
somebody
the
get it.
cost
Chip
in the past.
Chips would look better than.
This was the cost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was, that's,
You
it
would know,
was a
right,
cost.
right.
And people could come get the chips.
Yes, okay, we got a voice from the audience real quick.
I know it's not a comment, but you guys talking about the chippers, and I would be willing to let you take them down, or we can come and get them. But we're looking for a lot of chippers. Chippers.
Oh, by the way,
And wood chips.
we volunteered to let you guys use our wood chipper twice now, and you said no, so
You didn't ask me.
you were mayor, one of them.
I haven't heard about
I wasn't sure, I
Anyway.
never heard it.
Anyway,
The city
Just
can
an
borrow
idea.
my chipper.
you're right, okay. I think it's a valuable thing.
Yeah. Just amen to what he said.
Okay, that's it.
That's all.
Okay.
Just that the storybook stands that we're putting up, Melinda's working on them. We have a couple of them posted. They look good. We just keep working on those to get them all done for the big summer. And no, other than that, everything else is going on good.
Right.
My wife is scheduled to have open heart surgery, a valve replacement on the 16th. And so she hasn't seen the doctor yet to verify it, but if so, then I won't be here next meeting and possibly the meeting after that.
Prayers are with you, man.
So I'd like to go to that, but if she has her surgery, I'll probably go make it.
Okay, well, this, I mean, I'm sure he probably just sneaks in after.
They do
Yeah.
amazing.
Show up at noon for food.
Yeah. Big food's all good.
Give her medicine and.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, great, thank you. Marge?
Well, yeah, Shelley and I drove around with, Richie, and so impressed.
Richie,
What was it?
Richie Brower's from
Okay.
UCA.
Yeah, from the church.
They're coming on
oh,
Wednesday.
that, okay, okay.
He is so put together.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
he
awesome.
knows his stuff. We visit with everyone we could get to answer the door. I think we have still, but he's still gonna get in touch with them and do anything. I mean, absolutely anything that anybody wants to have done. And he has quite a record here already. I mean, we would drive by and he'd say, oh yeah, we did this, we did that, we've been there.
Yeah.
And just totally impressed with him.
And he's bringing 30 kids. he said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's been 7
And,
projects.
and we
Oh,
probably
is that
had
how
like
many?
7 or 8 people. And I think that's probably all they'll get to.
You
But
got-
they will
you
be
got-
back in the fall. And
Well, they're gonna come back again.
He said
Yes.
twice in the fall and twice in the spring, but he told me before he left.
He's insane.
well, he's all about it.
No, it's a servant mentality that they're trying to teach those
Yeah,
kids.
it's great.
That's pretty cool, that's pretty cool.
All right, we've got it right.
Ryan, is there any way you can get the crew to clean up that tree more,
On the bridge, walking bridge.
yeah?
We actually showed that to Richie
Yeah,
tonight.
that's on the
so he's-
list.
So he's,
They're gonna try
they're
to do
looking
it.
at,
We
they're
can
gonna
chip
try
it.
to clean it up.
He said they could do it.
Lock some beavers up and.
Yeah, he said they could do it.
So do they, I don't, who's responsible for it? You're talking about the one
It's
that's
in the
off
street,
that's
yeah,
out?
it's in the
Yeah.
street.
So they,
Yeah.
cause he went, he said, oh yeah, we could do
Yeah.
that, so they're gonna do that. Is that okay?
Will they pour it
I don't care.
We just weren't sure if it was on.
On the walking bridge,
Just right across
right
from the
across the
walking
street.
bridge.
Oh.
It's not, Yeah. I can drive a bus by there, it's not close.
Yeah. I'll stick a branch out where we.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, they are great kids and he's wonderful to work with. So, okay,
We're getting treats. She's
Yeah.
gonna be funny.
okay. This time I'll accept the motion to approve the bills.
Motion that we approve the bills.
Okay, seconded, somebody? Margie, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn,
All motion we adjourn.
Saying that.
Pete second that one. All those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Going down to the.
May, June, July, August.
Remember me? Yeah.